200. It's going to begin soon. 5, 4. Hello, and welcome to the Good, Bad, or Bullshit Podcast, episode 200. We made it on the second 100 leg journey. This is the podcast that is the place where it's a foundation for debate of something. We don't know. We've only been saying it 200 times or so. But it's a place where we debate things. And it's episode 200. Joining me, Bo Schwartz, as always, my good friends Michael Hodgins and Crofton Steers are here to celebrate. Happy 200, my friends.
Hey! Woo! Happy 200.
We made it.
I'm legitimately stoked about this.
I'm kind of excited too.
Like, I mean, it's 200 episodes of the show, and like, not to ruin anything that's coming up down the line, but we actually did some homework for this episode, and we did a little nostalgic trip. Each of us, we went back into the vault and listened to stuff, and man, like, I'll be honest, like, we've put out a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of funny podcasts. Like, I enjoyed listening to our back catalog.
And you're not even a narcissist who enjoys the sound of your own voice.
I will say I'm the best part of it, but whatever.
Hang on. Question. Truth or dare? Let's play truth or dare. When you were listening back to some of our episodes this past 99, what did we call it? Gauntlet of 100? This last season? This last season of Good, Bad, or Bullshit episode. Hundreds of
It's like a 4-year season or something.
Yeah, I think season's too diminutive for this. But let's say season. This dearth of 100 episodes. How many times did you fast forward parts that weren't yours? Like, you're listening. Crofton, I'm listening. Oh, cool, interesting. And then I start talking, and you're like, I'll give him no. And you skip the 15. There's the 15-second button in the Apple Podcast app. And you go, tick, once. You're like, oh, this is so easy. Tick, twice, tick. And then you just skip back to when it's your turn to talk again.
God, I wish I could have done that right there. But the thing is,
well, our audio listeners can.
I was actually researching, and I was trying to get different people's verdicts for a little game we're going to play later in the show. But I will admit there was one point where you were delivering a verdict, and I was actually looking for Mike's verdict. And so I just, kept skipping ahead, and I skipped ahead like 8 times, and you're still talking. And at 7, I was laughing pretty hard. And then I clicked it, and Bo was like, so I'm going to have to say, and then I clicked it again. I got to 9. And on the 10th time, I finally got to Mike's verdict, and I laughed pretty hard at that. So that was one time I fast forwarded you. But for the most part, I mean, again, I don't want to foreshadow too much, but I was doing some research, and it's going to be put to some good use later on.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I've never done that because it's pretty rude.
How many times have you listened to episodes of our
Not that often.
Yeah, you're not a
because
big...
I've had this debate with Crofton before, and I feel like I'm listening when we do them. Like, I'm fully engaged in the conversation, and then it's kind of like,
I think Crofton is too.
But no, I know he is. But when I listen to them again, because it was conversations we had, all I think of half the time is like, I should have said this, or I didn't express myself clearly enough here. So I find it can be frustrating in the sense that it's like sometimes I said things and I feel like, I didn't make that point the way I thought I did. I should have said it like this. So it just ends up being self-critical. But I don't fast forward anyone else because generally when I listen to podcasts, I'm usually doing something like digging a hole. I'm digging a lot of holes these days.
Well, if it makes
you in the background, I'm not going to stop and fast forward Crofton just because he's annoying or something.
Well, it makes you feel any better when I listen to them again. I think the same thing about you. So
I like how you just said that Crofton was annoying. It's not like I fast forward them because Crofton is annoying.
He's not annoying. I was kind of
definitely not. I mean, when you make a jab like that, it has to be based somewhat in reality, and if it's not, it can just roll off me. I'm like, no, I'm the best part.
All right. Well, I think that's some pretty good opening foreplay for the 200th episode. I'm curious about all the stuff you're teasing. So, what do we want to get started with today? Do we just want to run the random topic generator for the sake of celebration?
Well,
no.
I
you mean
think
the sound?
Yeah.
Well, going back to and you know, I think we can at one point. There's not going to be a random topic this episode for those of you who are regular listeners. For those of you who are first time listeners, and some of you may choose to start on a milestone episode, being like, whatever, I'm going to start this podcast at 200. I would just note right off that this is going to be a little bit of a look back at the past 100 episodes. So it may, you know, may not be as enjoyable for you as starting, you know, a new topic of your choice. But thanks for joining us. This is mostly going to be sort of a celebratory thing. So I think like we talked about, guys, looking back at some of like our stats. I know stats don't sound exciting, but like I'm interested.
Exciting.
But like, I mean, last time we did it at 100, it's like, who says the most goods, who says the most bads?
But what's funny about that is it okay? Well, this won't take long. But what's interesting is how consistent in some ways we are. Like, I think I've said this before. If someone were to like some psychologist were to listen to all these episodes, they could probably put us into personality camps, and we clearly have a similar style in approach to verdicts. So I don't think much is changed when you look at the over. It's not like the last 100 episodes, and I guess why would they? You know, we're the same people. So okay, I'll just break it down here. Some of these are pretty boring, obviously, and there's not many because I did not put a lot of effort into this. The most common verdict.
He means he put a lot of effort. That's what he means.
The most common verdict we had overall was good, and the least common verdict we had overall was bad. And this was the same for the previous 100. And that kind of makes sense, and I feel like that's a good thing. And I don't think that it's that our topics are favoring things that seem good. Maybe they are, but all in all, I feel like that's a good thing. I'm glad we're seeing the glass half full more than half empty. And bullshits are in the middle. Now, for us individually, and this is kind of where it's funny. So for Bo had by far the most good verdicts. And this has always been true.
Mm-hmm. Just for the back 100, or like in total,
just for the back 100.
Okay.
And in total, and for the last 100. But what's also interesting, because he favors so much on the good, that then he had the least verdicts of bad and the least verdicts of bullshit. So he has the most goods. His goods are like 54 goods.
I'm a pretty positive guy, as it turns
half
out.
of all topics good.
Of this second 100. That's from 100 to now.
Yeah, and then so I find that pretty interesting. Crofton gave the least goods.
Wow.
I thought that
wow, that's surprising.
I thought that would have been me, honestly. When I was looking at it, I was like, I'm surprised it's not me, but it was Crofton. Now, yeah, we're not. I'm not far behind. I think you gave 29 good verdicts, and I gave 31. So I only gave 2 more goods than you. So it's like we're pretty close.
But 31 is close to 30. Like 33 is essentially a third of the verdicts, right? And we have 3 verdicts. So if you had 33, that would be like 1/3 of the time you give, this one verdict. So I'm less than a third of the time I give goods.
Yes. You also give the most bullshits, and that's as consistent as well. Is the same of the whole through line. You gave 48.
Many?
48. So almost fully half.
Oh man!
Wow!
Almost
48 bullshits, and you gave 20. I actually don't know if this is exactly 100 episodes. It might be 99 because we did.
It's 99.
It doesn't count today.
Yeah.
Or the last one we did 100 episode celebration. So whatever.
It's always 99. We do 99
Doesn't
episodes
matter.
in a celebration. So
yeah,
it's 99.
And then Crofton's he's in the middle with bads. He gave 21 bads. Now me, I gave the most bad, and I think, and that's also consistent. And it's like if you listen to the show, it's obvious I'm the most negative. I would say so, and like it makes sense. But even then, it's not like Crofton gave 21 bads. Bo gave 19 bads, so it's not far off really. And I gave 25 bads, so I gave four more than Crofton and 6 more than Bo.
Our bad verdictizing is fairly flat. Like we have a low median or whatever spread of numbers.
I was gonna say I feel like that's a big jump from the first 100. I remember the first 100 we gave nothing bads.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go double check that, but no, we gave bads.
That's probably
for sure.
true. Actually, I think that's probably true.
But I think that the thing is because the bullshit topic ends up being the whole like something it can skew negative. I think we often have, we try to, not that our conversations are that complex, but we try to unpack things, and then it's like something that you might say is bad, and you look into it, you'd be like, actually, it's your perspective, and some people enjoy this thing, blah blah blah. I'll give it a bullshit because I don't like, and I think that that's fair.
And
Anyway,
it's crazy. Bo's goods are mind-boggling because say there's 2 episodes in there, the 2 100s that are don't count, and he's already at like 54 or something goods. Then it's like he is high like on the
but
goods.
remember, you're at 48 bullshits.
Yeah,
you're only
that's
like
different. That's
only 6 verdicts away from having a fully half. He's ahead of you, but
you wear the bullshit crown, Crofton.
The thing I don't take that as flattering as it sounds, because
why not?
Because bullshit, and I mean it's not always this way but it sometimes feels like the cop-out verdict, and like when there's so many bullshits, it almost feels like I know that a lot of those topics I have distinct opinions on, and often those opinions led me to that bullshit verdict, and I articulate them. When I just hear the number, it makes it sound like I can't take a stand on things, but I know that's not necessarily the case. But anyway, I like your goods is at least you're taking that firm stance on like, okay, no, this is good. So goods and bads feel like firm stances where bullshits could not be,
But what's also funny is that Bo's bullshits. So, and it's funny how I'm kind of right down the middle. The verdict I have given most though is also bullshit. I gave 43 bullshits, and 31 good.
You're closer to me on bullshits than I am to Bo's goods.
No, it's like the same.
Whatever.
But Bo gave only like 26 bullshits and 19 bads. So what I always thought was funny about Bo, and I just think this is he's like one side or the other. He's black and white. When he thinks something's good, he likes it, period. And then when he has some dislike for it, he can't just kind of settle in the middle. He has to be like bad. Like for him to give a bullshit, I think has to come from indifference, and often with Bo, indifference will slide him over to the bad thing. So, anyways, I just find it like
it's indifference that slides me over.
Well, honestly, sometimes I was listening to some of our podcasts. There'd be like silly ones where you're like railing about them, and even while it's happening, I'll be like, "Why is this bad? It's innocuous."
I'm going to look at some of these. I want to know what I've said was bad.
Later in the show, I'll tell you one that is it was actually pretty funny that you were going on about.
Okay. Oh, so you don't want to talk about it now?
No, because it's like. They're ones I listened to for our quiz that's coming up.
All right. Let's do the next. Let's talk about some of our faves. I mean, episodes of the past 100 that stick with you for whatever reason.
I go easy? I have easy answer. One of our favorites from last episode.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Hive Mind. Easily my favorite. Like.
Really?
We're pretty okay. It's a few reasons. One, we're a pretty small show. We have a small audience. We don't have an audience who really creates memes of the silly stuff we do. Usually, it's inside jokes between us. And I really felt like the Hive Mind took on that sort of energy, and I was glad to just give it a full hour of time. Also, I believe in the Hive Mind, so I'm passionate about subject. So I think that was my favorite.
Interesting, because I felt like we really shit on it a lot.
No, I think the Bo led, and you kept saying in that episode, and I remember it well, and maybe that's a sign of a good episode. You kept saying that you give him credit. He thought about this more than you thought that he thought about it.
Yes, he had. Yes.
So he was doing a lot, and you and him were going back. I remember you and him were going back and forth on that.
I remember we had a good conversation of differing opinions on that episode.
For sure,
it was good.
Now, for me personally, it wasn't one of my faves because I sat back in a Crofton-less episode or a Crofton-reduced episode. Obviously, it's never going to be one of the best. But I understand why it would be a big moment for you personally. That
was my favorite. What about you guys?
Mike, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Well, I have a few.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
couldn't-
copped out. I copped out too. I picked two.
And to be honest, I literally did that like 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I forgot about the favorite episode thing. So I definitely got good reflections, but it was actually helpful because I just scanned the list. And I know we had lots of interesting conversations. I almost enjoy every episode we do. But then there's certain ones where it's like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that one. So like and some of them were way back. The police. I enjoyed that episode.
You didn't enjoy the topic.
I also quoted what Ice Cube, "Fuck the police."
Yeah, that was like episode like 100 and some, like early, like really
early.
Yeah.
And also right on the heels of that was another one which I found, which was Good and Evil, and that one I remember just being like, it was one of those things because it gets bandied about so much, that concept in society, and I felt like we had a really interesting conversation, and I felt like just a conversation alone, and if you ever, listeners, want to have a conversation with some random person about Good and Evil, I think pretty quickly you realize it's kind of BS. Like when you just start talking about it actually, and like, what do you think is evil, and you kind of just talk about it and start to see the roots of things, and you realize like this is just like a simplistic view that doesn't actually capture what really happens in the world. And so I remember it being an interesting conversation, though for the record I did listen to our verdicts again, and mine in particular I thought was lame. I don't know, I remember really enjoying the conversation, but I was like, wow, my verdict did not sum up how I remember that conversation. And then just like a couple others I thought, and maybe these are, if you haven't listened to them, anyone listening, they're good to revisit. I enjoyed Merit. Talking about Merit I thought was a good one. Interesting. And Ignorance as well. I felt very passionate about that one. I mean, you guys know I'm a lover of learning, and I like to learn new things all the time. And you learn a lot from just talking with people and talking with your friends, having conversations about things. And I felt like Ignorance was kind of almost a meta thing for me to talk. I really enjoyed talking about it and just being like, it's so easy to fill your mind with knowledge. Random knowledge doesn't even matter. And so I really like that conversation.
Now that we're cheating,
those are the ones that stuck out for me.
Now that we're cheating and picking more than one, though, I want to pick more than one.
Well, whatever. Those are just a few that stuck out. It only took a few minutes.
Yeah.
But what about you,
So
Crofton?
I mean, wait. Let me go, and then we'll save Crofton for last. Because I have a couple here. I just scanned through the list. Obviously, I loved all of our guest episodes. I hope we have some more guests come on soon, including when Andrea stopped by. But having Scott Johnson on the show was like a dream come true. So that episode was really important. That's how good the Hive Mind was, that I didn't pick the Scott Johnson episode, because the Hive Mind one was that good. But I'm like, oh shit, that was like...
I remember mentioning during the Scott Johnson episode how Bo had a permanent erection or like a giant smile on his face the whole time. Like I was literally referencing it at the time because I knew how excited he was.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it too. One thing I will say is that I found we were all very polite, because Scott's kind of like, I mean, I don't know him personally, but he's a super nice guy and obviously well known. And he had a lot. Actually, we ended up with a topic that he really had thought a lot about and knew a lot about. So it was interesting to hear his perspective on it.
Theories for those.
But I feel like he didn't get we didn't kind of poke him in the same way that we would.
But like the problem with that too is it's a very loosely organized show, so it's not like they're
It is.
We don't want to tell someone how to talk, so I think it was good.
No. I mean, it was a really fun episode as well.
And it was the same with Emma.
in class,
and it's our only.
I'm on good behavior today.
It's our only.
It was same with Emma, and same with all of those. We were anytime we had a guest. The only person I felt like when they were there that I was like 100% sort of comfortable, although the topic was hilarious, was cosmetics with Ryan Murphy. And you should
have him back too, because it was a bit of a lame episode for him to be.
Yeah, it is funny though, because Scott has a general interest in conspiracy theories, and so he thought that we literally picked it out for him, which of course we don't do.
Random.
But Ryan learned the perils of random firsthand.
Ryan Murphy.
I
enjoyed having Ryan on though.
I really did. I loved having Emma on, my ex-roommate. She's a great talker and fun person, and I love that because what was it? Parking tickets? Was it? Wait, was
no?
It,
that's
no
when
identification.
Yeah.
ID. And she was like, I loved her verdict at the end was awesome. If anyone listening hasn't heard that one, I'd be like, listen to Emma's verdict, because she was just like, it was crystal clear, and she took a hard stance, and I felt like backed it up really well. I won't give anything away, but I was like, man, her verdict was like a payoff at the end.
Yeah. Actually, Andrea's verdict was good too, because I was about to say our only quadruple spread in the history of good, bad, or bullshit was Scott. We all said conspiracy theories were bullshit.
Bullshit, yeah.
But we actually also had a quadruple verdict with Andrea. We all said parking tickets were good.
I know.
It's
so weird. I got one the other day in London, Ontario, and I was like, God damn it! And I thought about our verdict, and I was like, a brief subplot or sub story to that. I fought that parking ticket and I got it reneged.
By the way, we're gonna get to Crofton's favorites in just a second here, but if Ryan happens to be tuning into the episode, and I only say that because he did like our tweet about the 200th on Twitter, so I know he knows there's a 200 episode. But what's going on with Sleeping with the Elephant? We were talking about your show the other day, and Mike and Crofton in particular like current events, and they were like, "Man, we need to do that show again."
And it was enjoyable to be a guest on that show.
So Crofton,
that
lay it
was
on
something
us.
else that happened in the past 100. We had guests. We guested on an other person's show. It's funny because I encountered like when Mike was listing his favorite episodes, they are so Mike. Like to me, and there's different episodes. Like Bo, is it surprising that he says the hive mind or whatever? And Mike, like high concept, deep discussion episodes are like his preference. Now here's the thing, I like those episodes too. But I also really like the ones where I just like we finish. This is for us, like for you listeners, like you may enjoy tuning in, but for us, this is a reason for us to hang out each week and spend time with friends. And sometimes I walk away and I've had a really great time hanging out with my buddies, and it's felt like a rowdy bar conversation. And then other times we're having serious conversation. So these are the two kind of sides of the show that both appeal to me, and I recognize that like I have favorite episodes in both these categories that aren't necessarily the same. But I will say to the type that Mike liked, they stick with you longer. And ironically, Good and Evil was the one I chose from the sort of deep conversations. It stuck with me quite a bit afterwards, and it's really like an interesting concept to examine and discuss. So really, that was one of my favorites, and it was fairly early on in the season. So that kudos to that episode for staying in my brain. And the other one, and this is the thing about fun ones, is they're a bit like popcorn flicks. You remember them in your recent memory, but then they sort of drift off, and it's hard to remember which ones you walked away having had the most fun doing. But there's one recently I remember, which is amusement rides, and that's the one that you may recall. We did the giant intro about Mike's inability to take a crap without his toddler, spying on him the whole time. And we got into like extensive like jokes on that front. And then that levity stayed with us the whole episode. And I just left it having had a really good time. So for me, amusement rides and Good and Evil were probably my two faves of the last 100, but there's a lot of good ones. And I'll be honest, I can't remember all the ins and outs of all of them for sure.
I mean, we did Circumcision, which is another one that's in this run. That produced a pretty good conversation too. It's almost 2 years ago, isn't it? Like over 2 years ago.
Would have been early. Yeah. It was early in the 100s. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned amusement rides because I thought about that episode because on the weekend I went to like one of these fairs, kind of country fairs, not quite an amusement ride, and took my son on these like little kiddie rides for the first time, and it was fun. But what I remember most thinking was like, man, rides are kind of stupid, like especially those ones. Also, I've noticed as I get older, dizziness does not work as well for me as it used to. I'm like, I don't really like these spinning rides. I'm like, I'm kind of feeling like off kilter here.
It's worse. It's worse as you get older. I was speaking to somebody today who had the same thing. Used to go on rides all the time and hates it now that they're older.
Yeah, just like ugh. I just kind of feel like a bit queasy. Like not actually sick because I don't really get motion sick, but I just feel like why? Because some of them just. I went on the Magic Teacup ride with my kid. And it's just like that one just spins and you just spin constantly in circles. It's like what? And the one other takeaway I had from being there is I was like, man, carnies live a rough life, because there's some rough looking people in the carny trade. I'll tell you.
I tell you, if you put together like there's a thematic outlines of like the past 100 episodes. One of them is the rapid aging of Mike into an old man, and this is just like a pinnacle. He's like, I realize in my older age here, late 30s, the dizziness is a real thing.
It's true. Well, yeah, but also I'm still a little young at heart. I climb on the monkey bars almost every day. It's fun times.
Really? Every day?
Yeah, I'll go with my kid, and then I'm just like, I can watch him. I'm
okay.
like, climb on them.
I forgot the kid context. I was just like, wait, what?
There's also a park in my backyard, so like I have easy access as a monkey bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
All right. Well, I guess if we're good with that little retrospective, I think we all talked about doing a different type of retrospective. I think we move ahead with our little quiz here, fellas, if you're comfortable.
Well, we also were supposed to say which verdict we regretted the most.
Oh, I have one for that. We got to do that. I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally. I'm gonna go first on this. So there's actually a couple that I regretted, and I know like you sit down and you do the show and you bring in with you like the mood that you're in that day, how tired you are, and that sort of thing. And sometimes like you get caught up. At least I do, with playing the devil's advocate on a topic in order to have a sort of a breakup of opinion, or maybe that there's something that annoys you about that thing, but you get like, I don't know, you get caught up in that one detail, and it sort of clouds your mind. I'll give you an example that I am not going to use, which is a verdict that I regret, which is surfing.
Yeah.
In surfing, I gave it bullshit, and the reason was
you didn't like it.
No. The reason I kept falling back on was the thrill seekers that are going out and the people that are getting killed and that are chasing the bigger, better wave. But really, it was blowing up a little thing into a big thing, and I sort of regret that. But there is one that I regret more than that, which is the episode 146, the talk radio / podcast episode, which I was the only one that said bullshit. You both said good, and it's one of those situations where we're talking about a show. We're doing like a meta show because we do a podcast. We've lumped it in with talk radio, so I'm thinking about like the Rush Limbaughs of the world and the Sean Hannitys and the people that are using the bully pulpit of these giant multi-million listener shows to put out ear poison, and that's getting my goat. But what I'm taking it out on is a medium, the content in that medium. So like if we were talking about anything from movies to books to video games, you name it, like there's some good of those things, there's some bad of those things, and there's some bullshit. But the medium itself is not the problem, and it wasn't the problem, and I got caught up in sort of my frustration with some of those shows, and I labeled it bullshit, when really I love doing a podcast. I love this medium, and for me, if I regret one, it's that one. I would for sure say good, for that, and I would take that one back if I could.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm sort of going through the list here, and I got to be honest with you. Ever since recycling, I've been on verdict watch. I've been more sensitive to like making You've never read. I'm looking through the list, and there isn't anything that's jumping out at me, like, because I don't want to just
look here. Let me say one, because there
Crofton's
are a few.
muted.
Oftentimes, you give a verdict, and then I find this is a good way to regret a verdict when you learn something new after the fact, that makes you be like, oh, I didn't know that when I talked about this thing, and now that I know it, my perspective has changed. And I think that's good. I want that kind of thing to happen to me because I want to be learning and be able to reflect on things I said or beliefs I held. And one of them, just to give an example of that, was the circumcision episode. And after the fact, we had some listener who sent us this like master's thesis he'd written about it, which was super eye-opening. And though I was kind of like, I think I gave it bullshit, and then I ended up, and honestly, I was trying to be a little bit sensitive to, like, you guys have been circumcised, and I don't want to be like, hey, that's bad. It's like, I was being sensitive to the fact that, like, yeah, you're not bad people, you don't actually give a shit for the most part. But as a practice, more and more, I'm like, I think it kind of is bad. And every time I hear something in the news media where they'll be like female genital mutilation, and it always makes me think, like, man, there's thousands, millions of boys every year who have part of their body cut off without their consent, and it's just, it's a bad thing. Like, I don't think you should do things to people without their consent that changes their bodies forever, even if when they're an adult they're like, I don't care. But it's like, it's the point of it, and all the same arguments that were made. I don't want to rehash this, but I found it really interesting. I was like, man, my opinion was much stronger after I saw some evidence laid out by this guy, and that all the same arguments, that everything you hear about why female genital mutilation is bad, you can find examples of all those same things for circumcision. And anyways, so that one I kind of regretted not going a little harder on. And then another one I regret is United Nations. I said it was bullshit, and I still stand by a lot of the things I said, which were like, it doesn't have actual power. It can be there's a couple of nations on the veto. They have the veto, and they can just basically make anything ineffective, and it doesn't accomplish much. But I mean, it's just like, why did I say that's bullshit? It's good. I mean, it's good that at least nations are trying to get together, and its aim. I learned this from watching this big Franklin Delano Roosevelt thing, which was just like after World War II, people were like, we need to not have a world war again. Let's make the United Nations. And its aim at that time was to be like, no more world wars. And it's like, that's good. So, that was a bit lame. And even though this has its problems, I think I should have come down on that. I mean, I'll leave it there for now. There's one or two others I could be like, yeah, I'd tweak it. But Bo, did that trigger anything in you?
Nope. I think like when you go around in life saying a lot of things are good, you're generally less self-critical. I think the only thing that I had trouble, like, I remember having trouble with recycling, right, back in the day, like the first 100, that I'm very mindful when it is verdict time of what I pick. I have increased my effort, but I'm like, is there one you guys like?
Well, Mike mentioned earlier when he was talking about you were mentioning something about Bo. You were listening to episodes, and he was making a huge deal about little things. Remember, Mike? Like, what episode were you talking about? Well, like, I remember his giant rant on IKEA and owning furniture and
I hate furniture so much. I remember, like, I was in a bad mood that day, but also it was pretty honest. Like, I don't regret saying the things that I did on that show.
But things like Bo said, birthdays are bad. And
yes, I still do. I made when we went to Nerdtacular on the last day, I got invited. John, my co-host on Core, I was like, what are you doing for dinner? And so there's a bunch of guildies, people in Alia Acta Est, having dinner. We're having a pleasant conversation, and it came up that I didn't like birthdays, and it was just awkward. It was like, I hate birthdays. Fucking birthdays are stupid.
Well, I can't believe it's funny. Like, Bo has no regrets in life. I mean, that's kind of how I've always said Bo's a little bit hedonistic, and I think if you're a hedonist, that's kind of how you live your life. You're like, no regrets, baby. Going and forging straight ahead.
No, because I did regret recycling. I did regret what I had to do.
Well, so you should have.
Yeah.
He regretted it and then changed his behaviors forever.
No. Well, here's another funny one that I kind of regret, since Bo couldn't come up with one.
Hang on. No, I got one.
Okay.
I regret maybe giving Star Wars good.
Oh,
maybe it's not that good. Maybe I don't know. I still enjoy them quite a bit. Maybe good's a little too strong. I don't know.
You give so many goods. You give like random shit. I always come back to prostitution. You're like, good.
I don't regret
Star Wars, something that you actually enjoy. You're like, no. Well, that's like taking a turn for the curmudgeon. You come to the Mike side.
No. It's just, I don't know.
I feel like we could go through his list
Yeah.
and call him on stuff.
I don't-
and there's
I don't
some
have-
that
I don't
and
have
there's
one.
some that
I don't
he
have one.
would shake on, I think. But like he does those extreme opinions like birthdays and all that. Like he's not
Yeah,
gonna
he'll dig his
hold on.
heels in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't have one, but maybe on the next 100, it'll be my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited for this quiz. I want to get the time going.
Sure,
So with that,
let's do it.
I will lead on the quiz. Without further ado, it is the first annual. Actually, maybe not
First,
annual.
like 5-year old.
Biannual, maybe.
First,
The bicentennial, because it's 200 episodes.
the GBB 200 Super Quiz featuring Mike, Crofton, and Bo. This is how it's going to work. Each of us has done some research prior to the show. We picked out quotes from the past 100 episodes. We are going to share those quotes. The other two are going to have to guess who the person that delivered that quote is,
Okay.
as well as, and they will get 10 points for that. If they're able to say what that person's verdict is, they'll get another 10 points. And if they're able to say the topic, actually reverse that. If they're able to say the topic and then the verdict, they'll get 10 points for a total of 30 points tops per question. Now, if they can only get part of the way there, we'll go to the other person. And if they're able to get the rest of the way, they will steal those points.
All right.
And I will compile them. So the maximum you can get is 30 points a question. Minimum is 10. We will each take turns reading a quote
Okay.
from a previous episode.
So hang on. When something's confirmed, do we want to do sound effects for if we've confirmed it correct? We can go. Or that's too long. That's way too long, isn't it?
It's a long sound effect. I don't know. There's a lot of these quotes. Let's maybe.
I
We'll
wish I
see.
had shorter,
I'm
shorter
getting
sounds.
the impression that we're not going to get many of them right. So
You could use Mike's favorite sound effect. I pressed that button, and audio listeners, you can't see this. Mike, it makes Mike's face change. He goes, it scrunches up, and he's muted now, so he's like, I can't even hear.
Oh, it's not, but it's not because it's my voice saying it. It's because it reminds me of those car commercials that I hate so much. I can't. Anyway.
Damn!
All right. Anyways, that'll be the last
it
time.
is a little obnoxious. I would venture.
Let's
I would
just
suggest
whatever.
now.
Okay.
So we'll do this, and I will keep score. Honestly, obviously, definitely no cheating.
Okay.
And we will see who is the greatest in GBB
All right, let's
trivia.
get started.
I have tried to make it so that the verdict, like each of my quotes that I've selected, you should be able to maybe tease out what episode it's from just based on the quote, not even using your memory. So hopefully that'll be helpful.
Okay.
Mike,
I did no such thing.
So who wants to go first? Who wants to read their quote first?
I'll go
Sure, I
first.
will.
Oh.
And the way you buzz in is you just got to go buzz or whatever in your mic. Like we got no buzz.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys got to whoever buzzes. Okay, I'm going first.
'Kay.
Question number 1. I guess we don't really need to keep track of this. Here's a quote. You see these young girls in particular who might say, "Send me presents" or something like that.
That's it?
You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
You see these young girls in particular who might say, "Send me presents" or something like that.
I'm going to buzz. I'm
Okay.
going to say Crofton.
Said it? Yes. Correct. Ding ding.
Ding. Yes. So I'm in for 10 points.
Verdict?
So, no, topic?
Is that the way it works?
Yeah, topic then verdict.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say vlogs and blogs.
Ding ding ding.
Yes.
Good
Money,
for you.
20. And I'm going to say bullshit.
Correct. He scores.
Yes.
He gets them all. Good
30
job.
points.
Wow.
I'm on the board. Suck it, guys. I almost said birthdays, but I did not. 30 points, Crofton, writing it down.
It
All
is
right.
interesting that it was himself, and it's like,
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
the best, Crofton.
No, good job.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was a pretty nebulous.
Yeah, there wasn't that
one.
much clues on it. The giving me presents thing, I just thinking it probably is tweaking your memory because you did say it.
I
So,
did
but
say
I'm
it, yeah.
curious.
All right.
All right, Bo, you want to give one?
Sure. Okay, here goes. Basically, I question the fact that we need clothes.
Ding, ding.
Michael,
Bo said it.
correct? What topic was?
Wait a minute. Did we get to
Don't
scan?
look
can't
at the
look
list.
at the
No,
sheet.
You, do not,
You can't
no,
cheat.
you do not get to look at the list. No list. Because it's got the verdicts in there. No list. You've got to go off the thing. That is cheating.
Okay. Well,
I'm ready to jump in if he can't get there.
Incorrect.
Let me
Crofton
in
for the
for
steal.
the steal.
Crofton really wants to win this game.
Let me in. Nudism.
Correct.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm in for 20 points now, and now I got to get your verdict?
Well, I will say, when you're guessing one of my verdicts, you have like
Yes.
an over 50%
Yeah, I'm going to say
chance
good.
of guessing
I'm
good.
going to say
Yes, you were correct.
60 points.
That was a bit of a tell there, Bo,
What?
reminding him that like you get.
I picked a bad time to remind you both that when you're
I can't
guessing
believe
my
I forgot
verdict.
nudism. That was my problem. I didn't scan this list in ahead of time.
I did when I pulled out the.
All right.
the,
Yeah, well, I
Crofton-
didn't, and now you're saying like, yo, look at it.
No, you can't because it shows the verdicts. It shows a lot
Well,
on that list.
Yeah, right. That's
So-
true. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
stay out of the list. Okay, next is me. I got one.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Jetpacks go a long way to winning people over. You walk around with a jetpack, then everyone will want to be your friend.
Beep.
Ding ding.
Mike?
Oh.
Crofton said it.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Bo for the
It
steal?
was me that said that.
Bo said it. Correct.
You walk around with
Top-
jetpacks. Is
Topic?
that
You have nothing to lose here.
flying cars?
No, incorrect. Star Wars was the topic.
Hey, what about my steal?
You don't get to steal.
He-
You
he-
got it wrong.
he
He
can't
gets-
steal-
It doesn't steal back and forth.
Yes, it
That's-
does.
No, it doesn't. You can't repeat.
We can
steal.
steal
One
back
out
and
for the
forth.
rest? No,
so
that's
we-
Yeah,
land.
that's you're penalized for buzzing in first. You get one. Bo gets one chance to steal.
Wrong.
Otherwise, we'd be here forever.
So that means the next one is just like
So Bo got 10 points off that.
Okay.
So it's Star Wars. His verdict was, as we noted earlier, good. For the record, the context to that was Crofton said, everyone loves Boba Fett just because of how awesome his suit is. That's the bottom line. And then Bo said, jetpacks go a long way to winning people over. You walk around with the jetpack, everyone will want to be your friend.
That's true too.
extra content. I didn't think you're out. I thought it should be second stealsies. We didn't go over these rules.
All right.
I don't
it's your
remember that.
turn.
That's fine. All right, your turn to ask a question, Mike. I think.
Okay. They were all concentrated all together, chatting, blowing like the smallest portion together with 25 of these loud engines like industrial level. And I was like, this is so stupid. People are paying you to do this? It's just blowing air into space.
Buzz.
Bo.
It's Michael that said that.
Incorrect.
Buzz? Crofton?
Crofton? Incorrect.
Oh!
Say it again. Say it again.
It's a guest. Shit.
No, there's no that to be trick. I wouldn't do that. They were all concentrated all together, chatting, blowing like the smallest portion together with 25 of these loud engines.
I
Engines
said
like
it.
industrial level. And I was like, this is so stupid. People are paying you to do this. You're just blowing air in space.
This is a good misdirect because you said it in your voice and it sounded like something you'd say.
Yeah, it did sound
But
like...
believe me, that's how it would say.
So it's me, definitely.
Yes.
So
Okay,
I
but
don't get
now
any
there's
points.
no points on the
no,
board, right?
No points. No points.
But do I get to keep going for the 10 for the topic?
No. You're done. We both
Okay.
are out
No,
on that
Crofton
one.
said there's no more. I would say if there's follow up
All right.
C's, but Crofton is the
Nope.
Grinch of
All
this
right.
game.
All right. Well, the
Rich.
show. I mean, we.
We just got to stay firm here.
All right. All
Okay,
right.
so it was Bo, and he said it was landscaping, and he said it was bad. And this is one of my things where like Bo regrets nothing. It was it's landscaping. He was like, oh yeah, there was a follow up questions thing that he said, which was humans are not responsible enough to wield the power of landscaping, is what he said. And I was like, what the hell? This is like, it's stupid for him to be like, this is bad. He really hated landscaping. It was interesting.
All right. My turn.
Okay, let's move on.
All right. Yeah. I think I'll put the bow one up my ass today.
Ding, ding, ding.
Mike?
I believe I said that.
Correct.
Mike's on the board.
Who said it?
I just said I said it.
Oh, sorry. What was the topic?
The topic.
God, Jesus, I don't know.
This one is. I'm gonna always fail at the topics. I realize because I remember that. I know what we're talking about.
Do you? Well, that's the topic.
No, it was no because it was like not related to the topic. Yeah.
Can I give hints?
No.
I mean, it's a for fun game, right?
Okay, I don't know. Let me just guess.
Let me steal.
I literally can't even think of one of them now. Can't believe.
I'll read the line again. I think I'll put the bow one up my ass today.
Oh, is it product licensing?
Correct.
Oh,
yes!
He's in for another 10. And for the 30, can he say what the verdict was?
Remember, I give the most often.
Hey, shut up, Bo.
Bad.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to get him to lose, Crofton. That's 30 points for Mike. He's on the board.
Good work, Michael. That is amazing.
What's a recap of the scores here?
So, recap. Crofton's up with 60 points. Bo's got 10 points, and Mike's got 30.
All right.
Okay, so my quote here. All right. Here's the quote.
Yep.
You're being extreme. So, look, if you say, hey, son, the squirrel died and is never coming back, and he says, what death? You're not going to find another squirrel and kill it to show what death is. You don't need to show him hardcore porn to explain what sex is.
Ding. Is it Michael?
It is not Michael.
Oh.
Ding. It's Crofton.
It is not Crofton. The answer is it is Bo Schwartz.
Really?
What did I say? Read it again, please.
You are being extreme. So look, if you say, hey, son, the squirrel died and is never coming back, and he says, what's death? You're not going to find another squirrel and kill it to show what death is. You don't need to show him hardcore porn to explain what sex is.
Okay. Yeah, that's
okay, does that mean the next level is still up for grabs? Or no. You're the Grinch of the show. I forgot.
It's lying is the episode. And so the conversation was about but Mike at this point was explaining to Bo why you lie to children and saying that, like, look, Bo, you're not going to show them hardcore porn to explain to them about sex. And then Bo said you were being extreme, and he gave that quote. Incidentally, I had a quip after when Bo said you don't need to show him hardcore porn to explain what sex is. I said there's another way. Which I thought was,
you have to insert.
Which I thought was pretty funny. Anyway, Bo's verdict on lying, incidentally, was bad. Also, Crofton lied twice about that verdict.
You know what? That's one I don't. Nice one, by the way. You lied twice. It's not one I regret, but it's one that I like. I know I didn't feel great about.
Almost regret.
I didn't feel great. It's almost regret. Maybe.
All right. My quote now.
Yeah.
Yep.
For you guys. Okay. Here's the quote. You don't need to pay someone. You don't need to bring in heavy equipment and change the landscape. You don't need to build this fancy clubhouse. You don't need to like waste tons of water making the thing work. It's just there. You just go there and you can do it.
Crofton or Ding. Crofton.
No. Ding.
Jesus,
Mike.
I'm so bad at this.
Correct.
Ding, Mike. Okay, now I gotta go with topic. You just go there and you just do it. Repeat the quote, please.
I know what the topic is.
I don't know. I feel like being the Grinch to Crofton. Say, you heard the quote, Crofton? Go ahead.
So he's talking about rock climbing or something because that's all he talks about, and it's probably
talking about rock climbing in like months.
I'm gonna say amusement rides.
Incorrect.
Can you repeat the quote for me?
It's going to be painful for you to hear this, Crofton, because I bet you were so close to having it. The correct topic was surfing.
Wait, I get the steal.
No, you didn't.
No, there's no steal. Crofton
Damn
is a
it.
big jerk, and he won't allow
Not
stealies.
stealing if you buzz in first.
Okay,
You
you're,
got
you're
that
right.
if you buzz in.
I
Too late
forgot.
now.
I forgot. You're
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so
I
the
forgot.
topic was surfing, and I said it was good. And there was a part when I was listening to that quote that I kept re-listening to, and because I said surfing was good, and I kept hearing it over again, and I was like, you can't own the beach, man. You can't own the ocean. I just kept saying, and I was like, I sound like such a hippie surfer. Anyways, it was funny.
Bo?
All right, here's the next one. There's always something killing us, but sitting and inactivity is killing us more and more. I like to sit.
Buzz?
I want to hear the rest of the quote.
All right, here's the rest of the quote.
And I like more. It's killing us more and more. And I like to sit. I will not hide from that. I very much enjoy what I'm doing while I'm sitting.
shit.
I enjoy
glad
the
I
comfort of sitting.
Buzz, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bo.
Incorrect.
Oh shit!
Well-
I should have gone with my gut on that. Oh.
It was a particularly good diatribe.
Must be. I'm gonna say Crofton.
Correct.
Come on, it's you.
It's correct.
It's correct. That's Croft.
Oh, it was me?
Yeah, let me read it again. There's always something killing us, but sitting and inactivity is killing us more and more. And I like to sit. I will not hide from that. I very much enjoy what I'm doing while I'm sitting. I enjoy the comfort of sitting.
I guess that works.
Was it the gym?
Oh, so nope.
Damn it.
Nope. And we can't do the
Alright,
steal. We can't do steals.
No.
So he gets 10
There's no
points
fun in this
though.
game,
He gets 10 points for that. Yeah.
He
So-
gets 10 points.
Yeah. You do
That
get
puts
points.
him. Yeah.
The topic was jogging.
Ah.
Yeah. and
Similar vein.
And Crofton's verdict was good because this was like I like to sit, but jogging is important. Was what came after. But it's just he said the word sitting so many times.
Yeah, when it was going on, I was like, this sounds like a Crofton quote, but he dinged in so quick. But then because it also sounds like something Bo would say.
I thought it was you. I thought it was for sure Hodgins. And then when in the first part about the sitting, and then when I let him talk, and the rest of it was about how much the person enjoys sitting, I'm like, oh shit, it's Bo. But
right.
I never think about me. I never do. Okay, I got one. Do you guys have many left? I got a few others.
I have 3 left.
I
Okay,
got 2 left. I thought we did 5 apiece.
I
got 2
did
left.
6, but we don't have to do it.
Hey.
So here we go. Let's keep it moving then. When we conceived of this show, I think the three of us, partly in our minds, had little things we wanted to rant about, little annoyances, Seinfeldian in nature, a show called Good, Bad, or Bullshit that has the word bullshit in the name, where you want to complain about things and rant, why is this like this? It is so dumb. This is one of those topics that I thought about when we conceived of this show, about frustrations that I could air.
Buzz.
Yes.
Oh my god. It's so hard. I'm gonna say Crofton.
You are correct.
Nice.
It was
The
Crofton.
topic is podcasting and talk radio.
Incorrect, Mike, for the steal.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's funny. I'm glad he said that one because that's what I was gonna say.
What is it otherwise? Why we
Okay,
conceived
well-
this
So
show?
dumb. This is one of those topics that I thought of when we conceived of this show about frustrations that I could air.
Man, the thing is, I have one I want to say, but I don't know if it was in the past 100. It could have been in the first 100.
Should you say it?
Base.
Oh yeah, that's in the first 100, way back. No, incorrect.
Sweet, I get 10 points.
Bo gets 10. The answer was daylight savings time.
Ah.
and the verdict I gave was bullshit. And the backup quote I had for that episode that came right afterwards was from Mike and said, "It's stupid. It's stupid." Is what I just is what I think. It is people fooling themselves, and if we have international policy that is stupid and pointless, then that is more bullshit. That is more than bullshit. It is bad.
That's hilarious.
So that was
I know I gave that bad because I have a hate on for daylight.
Yeah. So daylight savings time. So Bo gets 10 off that. So
Okay.
that brings Bo to 20 points. So Crofton's got 70, Bo's got 20, Mike's got 40. You're within one major score of tying with me.
Well, it's my turn to read a quote, so I don't even.
Oh, that gives me a advantage.
Okay. Sometimes I see someone walking down the street and they have beards, and I want to punch them in the face.
Ding.
Bo.
Ding. Michael. Michael? It's Michael.
Incorrect.
Ding. I'm gonna say Crofton.
Correct.
What? Oh my god. I guess that makes sense.
I'm gonna say topic beards.
Yeah, that was one of my easy ones. Yeah.
So I'm in for 20, and Bo buzzed first, so he can't steal, right?
That's right.
Oh, nice. Okay, so now I gotta say I'm gonna say bullshit.
Correct.
Oh damn it! He's got so many points, Michael. It's not fair.
Oh man,
I know this show would be entirely different if it weren't for Crofton and his introduction at the 11th hour of the no counter Steelies rule.
Even if there had been counter Steelies, I would still be up 100.
You would still be winning, but it would be different than this kibosh you put on the game being.
Well, that's the point of making the argument, Mike.
Do you want to do counter
No,
Steelies?
you know what?
It's too late now.
We're not doing it. We're well along in the show, so we've filled plenty of time doing our quiz. Let's do the next one. And I apologize in advance for this one. It might be in poor taste. So here goes. I held her there while the veterinarian used the drugs to end her life.
Ding ding.
Michael?
Is that it?
That's
Is that the whole one?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, it is in poor taste, but keep going.
I said it.
Correct.
It was euthanasia.
Correct.
And I said good.
Yeah, 30 points to Mike.
Oh,
yes!
70 points. Hodgins is up. He needed that big time if I hadn't scored last time. Oh,
God, that was one of the few that really, I knew it.
Oh,
the other ones I was kind of half guessing.
All right.
Not poor taste. My poor dog,
Well,
Jenny.
we didn't laugh too much. It was something you literally said in your verdict, and I was like...
No, I don't know. And it's a very powerful memory for me.
I honestly picked it because I thought maybe we would try to take it seriously, but Crofton would have a hard time stifling laughter.
I don't think it was in poor taste, Bo.
Right.
Don't feel...
All right. Okay, here's the quote. Here I am. You like what you see? Whether you expect something to come from it is irrelevant. So many animals do these kinds of bodily movements to show their virility or their health or what type of mating partner they would be.
Can you repeat?
Ding, ding, ding.
Here I am. Mike's ding is noted. Here I am. You like what you see? Whether you expect something to come from it is irrelevant. So many animals do these kinds of bodily movements to show their virility or their health or what type of mating partner they would be.
Virility? Which one of us says virility? Mike, it's up to
you. Ding on...
I did ding. Virility. Did I say it?
Yes.
Was it dancing?
Yes.
Did I say good?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Mike ties me. God damn it!
I can't believe it. The best part was when I dinged. I was ready to say Crofton so bad, and then I changed.
Virility really made me think of you too. I'm like, that's a Mike word, virility.
That's a pretty awesome quote too.
Oh fuck!
They can put it on my gravestone.
Virility.
Do you have any left, Hodgins?
I got one left.
All right.
This is my last one now. Okay.
Should we do one last each and then that's it?
Well, whatever.
Let me do my last two because we might need a tiebreaker for you.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. I think this one's a bit challenging.
Okay.
It's pretty non sequitur. Whatever. Okay, here's a quote. I had a bad experience at McDonald's today. No, they spit in my food. There was a loogie in it. I'm sorry, this one is brutal.
Today? I had a bad experience at McDonald's today. There's Louis.
Maybe I should give some.
No, this is got to be out of Super Troopers or something. Wait.
What? No, it's not out of that.
No?
I don't want your train of thought. Okay. Let me read it again. Okay. I'm gonna give a little bit of context. I think it is too hard. It was like an example. Someone's giving an example, but it's like, I had a bad experience at McDonald's today. They spit in my food. There was a loogie in it.
I'm gonna say Bo.
Yes, he did say that.
I'm gonna say convenience foods with the steel Bo.
International Americanized cuisine.
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
It is good glasses, and it was terrible of me to do this because this was such a hard.
What was it about? Like circumcision?
Good and evil.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because
That
Bo,
makes
he goes on like a. Yeah, that's why it was a terrible thing for me to do because it was impossible, really.
I will say it was a terrible thing for you to do. However, it also gave me a 10-point lead on you, so I'm willing to allow it.
All right. So I've got
There's something to-
2 more. Do you guys have any left?
And I was also like, Bo, like when you waited so long to ding, I was gonna be like, Bo, just ding. You're losing. Just guess.
I'll be honest. I have 3 or 4 left because I was confident that neither of you were going to do your homework. But I will. Bo, you do yours,
Okay.
and that'll be the last one, unless.
Okay.
No, you should keep doing them as a handicap to your victory.
All right. Let's. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's got to be fair.
You remember, Crofton, you are the best.
Who
so
did
it's
we
not fair
start
for
with?
you to-
Actually, we started with Mike, didn't we, Crofton? Didn't we go Mike, Bo, Crofton? Isn't
Yes.
that- So I have
Oh,
to give
shit.
one, and you have to give one. That's how this
Fine.
is fair, okay? All
I
right.
can't screw.
Oh, choosing between these two is so hard. Okay, here we go.
Is that the quote?
No. All right. I feel people should be extremely grateful that they live in an age where they get to have it, and that they're gonna take maybe a dump all over their ancestors when their children live on the scorched earth. Verbatim, by the way. I don't. I'll read it again. I feel people should be extremely grateful that they live in an age where they get to have it, and that they're gonna take maybe a dump all over their ancestors.
I'm gonna ding.
Okay.
It's a Mike.
Incorrect.
Oh.
I'll say Bo.
That's correct. What's the topic? I feel people
You've now tied me. So
I feel
this
people
is-
should be extremely grateful that they live in an age where they get to have it, and that they're going to take maybe a dump all over their ancestors when their children live on the scorched earth.
Oh.
Oh, I think I know what the topic is. Oh no, was that a topic?
God, I can't even. Scorched Earth. Oh my God, I'm just trying to blank. There's too many verdicts to think of it. Taking a dump on their ancestors. God, I don't know. To have it. Oh, democracy. Wait,
No, it's incorrect.
I don't know why.
Did we do bottled water or anything like that?
So
No.
it was air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
And also, I think when I said ancestors, I meant their like predecessors. Like I say wrong words. I noticed
You mean
when I listen.
descendants.
Yeah,
You meant
descendants.
descendants.
I say wrong words all the time when we do the show.
Well,
It's-
I still got what you meant, and I
Yeah.
sort of thought that, but yeah, no, good one. 'Cause
All
that
right.
was
This
that was
is
the hard.
really annoying because now Mike has
Crofton.
officially tied me, and we are like, this is the last one, and I
No,
can't
it's
even.
perfect because Bo has a tiebreak one after.
Yeah, I can do a tie break if you guys are tied. All right.
Okay. No, but you're getting an advantage here. I can't play on this one.
No,
is
but
what I'm
I'll-
saying.
And maybe
ask
we
the
won't get
next one.
tiebreak. Maybe I'll win right here.
Yeah,
from-
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, that's
Oh,
how
well.
it works. Just ask it away. You had your chance.
Oh man.
Pick your hardest
I gotta-
one. You've got
I gotta-
lots to choose from.
Shit, they're all the last ones are easy here.
Maybe I'll get them. That's good.
No, Bo, come on, Bo, you feel
Okay.
tired.
Shit, this is the hardest of 3 easies. There's a lot of garbage. If you waste your time watching someone eat cereal, then knock yourself out. I
Ding,
would say
ding.
get a fucking life, but whatever. So again, I'll repeat the quote because Mike interrupted it, but ding is noted. There's a lot of garbage. If you waste your time watching someone eat cereal, then knock yourself out. I would say get a fucking life, but whatever. Yes?
I said it.
Yes?
Was it vlogs and vlogs?
Yes?
And I said they were bad.
No, you said they were good.
Oh, I win! I didn't get to
my-
buzz in. Beep, I
Oh, you
steal.
did-
It's
You
good.
didn't get, you didn't get to buzz in.
Oh, well, what do we do now?
All right, well, I do the tiebreaker because because I got the. Give me
Oh,
my.
but I still got 20
Give
points.
me
I
my.
got two
Give me my
right.
30 points for
No,
that.
because he could have stolen
No,
them.
I stole them. I did steal them.
No, you didn't, because Crofton said it before
Yeah,
he could.
yeah. That doesn't invalidate it.
Let's
All right.
just do the
One tiebreaker. Here we go. Here we go. The tiebreaker.
Fuck, I got that one.
But he
No,
he
you
would have
didn't.
stolen it because you definitely got the verdict wrong. He would have had a chance.
You know, but what's
steal.
interesting is that the only reason I knew it's so thing was that I pulled from that same one, and I
know.
listened to it, and I also remember thinking like, oh yeah, I gave that good,
All right,
even though I really hated it, and I was too stupid to answer too quickly. Anyways, okay, tiebreak.
We'll lament this later. The last tiebreaker
I think we all
between
know
Mike
that
and
I
Crofton.
actually won, but let's do this to make Crofton feel
Here,
good
here,
about
here,
himself.
here it is. Here it is. All right. I want that for my kids, and I want that for future generations.
Ding ding.
Michael.
I don't know why I ding, because I'm definitely not gonna get all this.
This is way too vague. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, wait. I want.
Yeah,
to
maybe
be-
it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But it's what we got.
Did I say it?
Incorrect.
Okay.
I see. Here's the thing.
It's pretty difficult, this one.
It's easy for me to say me because I have a kid, but I feel like it might be a ruse in that it's actually Bo.
Just
It's
answer.
clearly shot in the dark.
Just answer.
Do I take the risk and say Bo? I want this for my kids, and I want this for future generations. I'm gonna say it's too poetic to be Bo. I'm gonna say Crofton.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. So that means you win, because you're.
Okay. Thank God.
I call bullshit on that. It came down to him flipping a coin to be able to win after I clearly got
Look,
two
it's a
questions
dumb game to
right.
begin with. Let's not get all salty
No, wait,
tacos
wait,
here.
wait. Here, before it's not. Let's say that
What's the
Mike
verdict?
gets a chance to steal on this one.
Okay.
If I can't take
Oh,
it the
now
rest of the
we
way.
have the good rules.
No, I'm kidding. Do you want help or not? Here?
They're to placate you.
I already won. Listen to this.
Oh my God,
Okay,
Crofton,
no,
what's the
you got it
subject?
wrong. Okay,
What was the subject? You
so
said.
I have to choose the verdict. So the topic. What is it? Repeat the quote.
I want that for my kids, and I want that for future generations. I think you said it in such a way that it made more sense, and then when I read it, it's like, I don't know.
Democracy.
Incorrect.
Was that one even in the last 100? That might have been a first 100
Yeah,
episode.
it was the first 100.
Doesn't matter. It's your try. Can you get it?
It's so vague. I don't
I
even
know.
know what our topics are. I didn't familiarize myself with the list.
Wow, I'm going to lose.
I
Both
want
of you.
this for my kids.
Look at me. I'm actually in third place, and I'm just also.
Oh, wait, what is it again? Say it again.
I want that for my kids, and I want that for future generations. It's too vague. You're right. I wasn't
It's
really.
super vague.
But I mean, everything else I put up was vague. It only matters now because it's a tiebreaker.
But it's also super short, so there's very
I mean,
little
I
clues.
think
to
I'll put the
glean.
bow one up my ass is also vague.
I would think Hodgins about your favorite episodes because it sounds like a big topic thing. So what were the ones you mentioned earlier? It's
I
probably
won't
one of
think
those.
Any of those?
Just fire off a guess. You lose. It's fine.
Fire off a guess.
I'll fight this in court. Can I look at the list at this point? Doesn't matter.
No.
No.
This is why I didn't allow double steel C's.
I didn't want this for my kids. I don't know. God damn it. I'm gonna say euthanasia again.
No, that's a good
It'd be
one.
hilarious
No.
if that was it.
I want euthanasia for my kid. The topic was Star Wars, and Crofton said it was good.
Would never have got
Yeah,
that.
it was too vague. That's kind of, I think, why it was at the bottom.
Yeah, that one was pretty
Yeah.
brutal.
Sorry.
So
Congratulations, Crofton.
I have a couple that we can do real quick. Let's just
do them.
real quick.
This whole game's a sham, anyways, and you know it.
Okay, here we go. Smells like bacon in here.
That's Mike,
Ding.
police, bad.
Wait,
Okay,
Whoa.
well, Bo already answered everything.
who dinged?
Well, Bo put his answers out there, so give it to him.
What did he say?
I said Mike, police, bad.
Incorrect.
Crofton,
Yes.
police.
Yes.
What did he say?
He probably said they're amazing. I like my neighborhood patrol.
I'm gonna say bullshit.
Correct.
Yes.
So just So that was
I
following
remember
up.
that anecdote where
it
you went
was an
into the
yes.
diner and said it smells like
I
bacon.
went into the
here."
diner. It smelled like bacon in the diner. I said, smells like
Oh,
bacon in
that's
here. And then looked to my
right.
left, and there were 4 cops
That's
sitting
right.
in a
I
bench,
remember that
all
story.
looking at me, and not happy with my choice of words. And then I said to them,
I'm
but
surprised.
it does smell like bacon. Incidentally, that it was between that and one that was from Mike that was too obvious, which was because of the fucking cops. Fuck the police. Freedom of speech, motherfuckers.
What did I say it again?
Because of the fucking cops. Fuck the police. Freedom of speech, motherfuckers.
Oh, yes. All right, do your last one if you got one more.
Humans like to ride on things like horses and cars and waves, and we have this thing where we are like dogs where they stick their heads out the window and are like, we like locomoting without moving our body parts. Amazing. I want to do it more.
That's Mike.
Ding.
Mike.
Okay, Bo got it, I guess.
Who's buzzing?
Bo got it.
Yeah?
Mike.
Incorrect.
What?
Oh. Okay, I say Bo.
Correct.
I said that?
Yeah. What's the topic?
Amusement rides?
No, incorrect. Bo, do you want to try on topic?
What? What's the point? There's no stealing.
We have this thing where
It's the game. So it was surfing.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and Bo's verdict was good. And Bo did this big thing where he's like, humans like to ride on things. We like locomoting without moving. And we're like, and all this. So he went.
He's right, though. Humans do like to ride on things.
We like
I
locomoting. I never...
I do find it funny that Mike, you and I, like, because you did a surfing one and a vlogs one, and I
Yeah, what are
tried.
the chances?
Yeah, I really tried to.
Yeah, I was just picking at random. Well, that was fun. So Crofton won in the same manner that George Bush Jr. won the election in the States there in 2000 and whatever, i.e. bullshitty way.
Hey, was he the president, though? I think he was.
He was president or a mistake. Depends which way you look at him.
I miss him now.
Well, yeah.
But all right, yeah, no, that was fun, guys. I'm glad we did that. I'm not sure how entertaining it was for the listeners, but I had a goddamn good time.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
What does that lead us into, Bo?
Well, the next thing is it's time to give out our awards. So we like to recognize people who've worked hard on the show.
What about the music?
Well, that's what's coming in. So without further ado, let's start the awards ceremony. Now, let me know if you guys hear this, because
Finally.
sometimes there's technical difficulties.
Sometimes there is. But yeah, if we don't have that full
You guys hear the music?
money,
I would if Mike stopped talking.
lovely.
Is there? All right, welcome to the Good, Bad, or Bullshit Awards Show. All right, and so I think we're each going to take turns giving out the award. I believe Mike is the first to hand out an award.
I do have an award envelope here. Let me just open it up. Yes. Okay, here it is. This year, the Locutus of Borg Award for most single-minded devotion to the melding of the human race into a soulless hive mind goes to Bo Schwartz.
Yes! I did it! I won it! That's amazing. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bo.
I would like to thank the Shibble system from Psychopaths for providing a great example of what a hive mind can be. Thank you.
I really thought this was mine this year.
Maybe
All right.
next year.
Crofton.
So I have an award. It is the Duke of Devonshire Retirement Residence Get Off My Lawn Award for the most long-winded, curmudgeonly rant. And it goes this year to Michael Hodges.
What?
Michael.
They gave me this. It took long enough to get this damn award. I've been petitioning them for years. And another thing, the Duke of Devonshire, they don't even serve a good ham on rye sandwich.
And I'm getting dizzy talking about it.
Their sandwiches are terrible, it's true. All right, and I have one more award to give out today. And the music's going to get a bit quiet here because... Oh, now it got super loud. It's going to get a bit quieter here because this is a big award, you guys, all right? So I'm giving out the Generation XY Award for Best Nostalgic Pop Culture References in an Introduction. I'm going to open the envelope. The winner is... It's Crofton Steers! He won the award.
Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I'd like to say this is a surprise. It's really not. I knew I deserved it. Thank you so much.
All right. And I actually have another award here to give out. A little bit unusual that we have more than 3 awards this year.
It is.
And this is the Rodney Dangerfield I Can't Get No Respect Award for Best Zinger of this past 100 episodes.
Is it me?
Is it a zinger or is it a person?
It's for Best Zinger. For delivering the best zinger over the past 99 episodes. And the winner is... oh my god. It's Crofton Steers again, everybody!
My ass, Mike! Yes!
He's on a roll.
Oh, and actually... I know you want to give a speech and say thank you, but we actually have a 5th award. I got to give this thing out. It's got to go out, folks. All right, so here it is. Oh no, this is going to cause some trouble for our show. It's the Donald Trump Award for most tremendous achievement in the field of self-aggrandization. He's the best. Why is it? What? Okay, anyway.
Sounds like a Donald Trump award.
So the Donald Trump Award, it goes to, drumroll please, Crofton Steers again! What is this madness? God. Crofton has won 3 awards.
Okay, guys, I gotta say, it's hard to be humble. It really is. It really is.
Just generally?
This is 3 awards, and I just gotta say...
And you won the quiz, don't forget it.
The only thing that's a little bit surprising is I didn't get the first 2 awards, but whatever, we can look at that after.
Oh, wait, you know what? Crofton, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're running low on time here, and we have to give out this 7th award. There's 7 awards? Did we plan? Why is there 7? And this one is the Good, Bad, or Bullshit Award for most awards received in a Good, Bad, or Bullshit in a single Good, Bad, or Bullshit episode.
Oh, I've got this locked up.
Oh my God! Let me open this. Crofton again?
Oh,
he won a 4. All right,
you would think
this is bullshit.
Diminished returns.
This is
really think
complete bullshit.
But like, I just got to say. Feels good, feels deserved. I'd like to thank the listeners for bearing with me throughout so many episodes. I'd like to thank my co-host for setting me up for all my great zingers, and also for providing a counterpoint so that they can see exceptional verdictization. They can compare, be like, well, after those guys, Crofton looks pretty good right now. So yeah, no, thanks to all. I'd like to thank our Patreons for paying for these statuettes.
That's where all our budget goes from Patreon suppliers.
So, that's awesome. For longtime listeners, we had done an award show in the 100th episode. I think you'll be impressed with how my performance has increased since then.
You got more awards, and it is worth remembering he did get the Good, Bad, or Bullshit award for most awards received in a Good, Bad, or Bullshit episode. So that is quite an achievement.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it is a record, and we were all about stats and records today. So congratulations, I suppose.
Yeah, it's too bad because I thought for a while when we were all tied at 1 award that maybe I'd win it, but then.
Well, Mike, you know what they say, right? It's not about quantity; it's about quality.
Well,
and
it's
I
true.
feel like the
Duke of Devonshire, they don't give those awards to everyone.
And also, I'd say, Mike, that you, even in this episode alone, you have a history of when we're tied of kind of choking. So,
all right.
Yeah, except when I did actually win.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's
well, what a great way to end off the night. At least everyone.
You know
goes
what?
home
Actually, now that I think about it, because Crofton sabotaged that by giving away the steal to Bo and then just giving it to him anyways. I guess it's convenient.
Does that get me any sort of other award?
No.
Award for most petty display in a game show. Yes, another award.
Oh man, I'm bleeding out.
I don't think you can win more awards once you've won the award for most awards in a single episode. I feel like that can't happen. So
yeah,
not with that attitude.
Anyway.
Well, there's always episode 300, Crofton. So you got to set your sights high.
Yeah. So and make sure for that next episode that you're doing everything you can in between these other episodes to win awards, to do things that win you awards. and you'll get more.
You know what? I live my life like that every day.
I bet you do. I bet you
Awards for excellence. I just collect.
So that was a fun little ceremony. I think we're just about to wrap up our little party here, but before we get out, serious time, friends. I would like to extend a big thank you, first of all, to the people who have supported us on Patreon. Okay, and that's Chris, Scott, my mom, Leonard, and Ryan. Y'all know who you are. Basically, the small, modest amount that you do supply to us means that we get to put the show up on the internet for free. Pays our hosting costs and our domain, and that's no small thing. We are very grateful for that.
It's huge. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and additionally, we'd like to thank again all the people who listen to the show. Now, we do have a small audience. We have some very dedicated listeners. They're not very communicative. We ask them every week to write in letters, and
okay.
they don't. But
I get it.
That's fine. We're happy. You're downloading the episode. You're listening to it. You're having a few laughs with us, and just enjoying what we do. And I will say that we've had, very slow, steady, consistent growth over that. So we know you're out there, and we thank you very much for joining us on this journey of whatever this is, picking topics at random and just talking about them. It means a lot that you're there to hang out and join us on this journey. So thank you.
It does, and I would throw a special thank you out. Like ever since we started this live streaming thing, we host these on twitch.tv/goodbadbull, and you can go listen to them. But we're sort of a regular in when we're there. We try to be Thursday evenings, around 9ish, but like the time's different. But one thing we can always count on is that Wicked Kitten Monica is always there, one of our moderators, and we really appreciate her participation each and every episode. And we would invite any of you who are interested in watching the episodes live to join her. We'll try to be more diligent about putting out the time on Twitter and that. You can follow us at Good Bad Bull, and then you'll know when we go live. Bo, is there a way to set notifications too, like when on Twitch where?
Yeah, the whole thing. You guys don't. Are you kidding? You literally, the way you use Twitch is you create an account, you go to a channel you like, and push the follow button, and you'll get notified when we go live.
Perfect. Do that.
But I guess there's some people who don't use Twitch, like Mike, and that's probably the first time Mike's ever heard that instruction. So, okay, yeah. So thank you very much to all the amazing people who are joining us on our random topic journey. I think that's going to wrap up the show.
And I would just say, and no people are just listening. Like, I hope you feel the urge to tell us off or feel engaged by the conversation and want to have conversations with other people too. It's great. Thank you very much for listening.
And I would just add on in the sense that we've just done the award show, the mock award show, and I know Bo has mentioned that other podcasters that he knows and stuff and they do 100 episodes pretty easily or whatever. For us, it's tough. It's a lot of work. Bo does a lot of the work. We're not necessarily able to do it every week. So we took the time today to sort of recognize and celebrate and have some fun. But I mean, we're always going to be drawing these random topics and having these conversations, and not all episodes are going to be necessarily about this one. And we're doing it for the listeners. We're doing it for each other. I thought it worth recognizing 100 episodes because it's like years. It takes us years to get here from the last milestone, and it's worth noting it. Like, we got busy lives and we've got stuff going on, and the fact that we're still doing this, I think, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like it. And thanks to Bo for doing all the technical work, because Croft and I are useless on that end. Bo makes it happen.
Well, yeah.
Like cornerstone.
If you guys put your mind to it, but it's not that hard, but you'd be able to do it. But thank you.
How's the marketing plan coming along, Crofton?
You won all those awards. I mean, it must be making some progress on
They weren't for marketing.
Can I get Best Marketing Award?
Well,
oh, you did it.
We should have got Bo an award for Best Doing All the Work Award.
No, well, we looked into it, but it seemed clear.
It's a little bit excessive. I get it.
Yeah, we don't want to give him too many awards.
You might get a big head.
All right, Bo. What else do you have to say to wrap it up?
I think that's pretty much it. It's been a lot of fun doing the show. We look forward to seeing everyone at the tail end of 300. Tell your friends. Ask us for stickers. Michael mail them to you, maybe.
Oh yeah, the stickers.
And you know what? The one thing I want to do is we're just going to keep doing the show. But I'm telling you, if you get pissed off, write an email. Write us an email.
Yeah.
And tell us ways that you think that would make the show more fun for you to interact with, or ways that we want to hear your feedback. We don't get any feedback, and we kind of just do what we want. And not that we'll change it just because someone has a criticism, but if you're listening to the show and you think something, we really value your thoughts. So send those in, and thank you, Mike. Thank you, Crofton, for I look at our list of topics and I'm like, man, we covered some pretty awesome topics. Like overall, like I can say I did a show about prostitution and I did a show about circumcision. There's not many people in the world who can say things like that. So thank you for the privilege of being able to talk about Star Wars and circumcision and the hive mind
and anything else.
Cool.
All right, I think I can cut it off there. I think unless you have a big thing, I think that's a good sign off. We got right. We signed off there.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. And honestly, like, it's really fun doing a change of pace episode like that. Like, and I know that, like, I don't know how it comes off for listeners, and like whatever, it might be self-aggrandizing, but I got an award for that, so it doesn't matter. But at the same point, it was really kind of fun to do it. Yeah. I liked it.
It felt good. I would say it felt good.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I see that I'm just finally looking at the chat now. Monica has some stickers. How many stickers did you give her, Bo?
I don't know. How many stickers did I give you?
Hopefully,
you're gonna use them at BlizzCon and take pics. Sweet.
It will be sweet.
I mean, there's still a long shot chance I make it out there. I mean, currently not the case at all, but I did my interview last week actually, so I'm just waiting to hear if they want to do more interviewing, I guess.
Yeah, no, I thought it was funny. It's funny because it's like, it's tough to do homework. I get it, but like, it is fun once in a while. Like the fact that we did that made it interesting. I understand why you got into that situation with Nick Saperty on that other show on Corbo, where it's like the listeners would be into it and Scott and John would be into it, because I enjoy the games.
Yeah, it's just a laugh.
Takes work.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a laugh doing it, but it takes work outside to make it happen.
Basically, if I have time at work, it's about 2 to 3 hours to think of. You got to think of questions.
I did laugh a lot. Look, there was one in particular. I think I was texting you guys about it. I was watching it, and I was tired. I don't even remember what the one was, and Bo was rambling on. But what made it funny to me was that I clearly was tired, and it wasn't like I was trying to say anything funny. And it might not have been funny, but it really was to me. And Bo was rambling on, and I was kind of like looking tired, and I was just like, "Are you giving a verdict? I don't understand what's happening anymore." It was just like he was going on and on in typical Bo Sport, and it just made me laugh so much because it was just Bo going on, and he was in a good spirits and all over the place, and I was just like, And then there was some other one I was watching later on, which was like, this could have been 30 episodes apart, and Bo was talking and I'm sitting there, and then I start like moving my hand in circles during his verdict. I'm like giving Bo a hard time all the time.
Maybe it was
but I listen to some of my verdicts too, and I'm kind of like, yeah, sometimes I say they don't make sense. That does happen actually.
But that one in particular had a whole bunch of like non sequiturs, and you were like all over the place, and I was legit like, what's happening? I don't understand.
I think sometimes my brain is working faster than my ability to say the things that I forget. It's hard talking.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And honestly,
it's because I'm so smart. It's because I'm way more intelligent than you guys.
No, but it was like when Ryan came as a guest star and we did the cosmetics episode and all this, and like, Ryan hosts a lot of shows and is involved in a lot of podcasting, but he was, as we all were, struggling a little bit in terms of being able to be men talking about makeup. But like that's part of this show. Like sometimes we get stuff that we're comfortable with, and sometimes we don't, and we make it work for the most part. And if I learned something about myself doing the show is that I'm able to. It's not something that I was able to quantify before, but it's like that I'm able to be quick on my feet and adapt to these sort of situations, right? So.
Yeah.
Just because we're in the chat here, I mean the show is over, but I was curious because I don't look at it during the show because I get too distracted. Monica said way back, yeah, that one taught me stuff for an episode, and I don't know what we're talking about, and I'm really curious which episode that was. Maybe I shouldn't remember. It was back in the chat. Do you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
No,
but
I don't know. Maybe is she still listening? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
probably. But there's a lag with Twitch chat. It's like by the time that your question gets through and she's able to answer, it'll take a second.
Well, I do have to run.
Circumcision, right? Always interesting to hear someone learned anything. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So I gotta run.
Yeah, neither
live
can
stream.
I tried to write circumcision earlier, and I was like, I don't know how to write it close enough. Okay, Bo needs to take off. So
I got a coil of grumpy, so it's time to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you
Bye,
so
Bo.
much for a great show. It was a lot of fun doing the show, and we'll be back next week. All right. So
All right.
Bye,
Later.
everyone.